The newest rate wave of platformer demons is absolutely insane. Among the many rates was Tower of Descent into Exile, the longest deathless platformer of its difficulty, and the former hardest platformer mega collab Heavier Metal. Along with these, we also have possibly 2 top 1s rated within the same day. First, we have the auto-scroller Monitoring, which is somewhere within the top 3, and then shortly after, Delightful Climb was rated. This means that if Monitoring is easier than Delightful Climb, but harder than Diamonds for Dashers, we'd have 2 rated top 1s within only 3 minutes. And although the gameplay of Delightful Climb looks relatively simple, the level is on a pretty strict time limit and heavily exploits fixed hitboxes, making these wraparounds through horizontal spikes especially brutal. Throughout the level, there are also fast turnarounds where you land inside a narrow vertical gap, including the hardest one of them right at the tail end of the level. Whizkid has become a top 50 platformer player after completion of Nullspace, which is absolutely insane as he's still a top 20 classic player at the same time. According to him, he's planning on playing a lot more platformers, so it could be very soon that Whizkid is near the top of both leaderboards at once. Also, congrats to Evitz for recently beating the same level. For the first time in 2 years, the world record on the oldest rated platformer, Enjoying the Sun, was finally dethroned by Jamasta. The speedrun starts off with some simple platforming through the garden before the first real time save. Upon seeing a blue portal, Jam clicks as early as possible without bonking on the grassy slope corner right before said portal. Instead of being reset back to normal speed, this trick allowed them to conserve so much momentum that they zoomed past this corridor. After a 20-second cutscene, there are 3 random sets of fireballs. Luckily, the level's rotating firebar cycles line up perfectly, so that slightly waiting to eliminate all RNG from the first group of fireballs doesn't lose any time. However, they still had to roll the dice and hope that all 3 fireballs didn't spawn on the second set, and the top cannon didn't fire on the last one. Even though they dodged the rest of the level's traps and executed a near pixel-perfect drop, he was still behind world record pace upon reaching the last room. Traversing the rotating fields here was purely muscle memory, and through better execution, Jam snatched the world record away from Red Koopa. Vip has released Gateway Prime, a sequel to the first Epic Easy Demon platformer in Geometry Dash. Like its predecessor, it centers around using power-up collectibles to reach the next zone, such as up arrows that grant you an extra jump, lightning bolts that give you a mid-air dash, and down arrows that allow you to stomp through certain blocks. However, the sequel adds springs that you can rebound off of, switches that shut off electric barriers, and ghosts from your past attempts that you can speedrun against. Make sure to check out 08W80 by Owozi, a spider demon puzzle level. Since the spider instantly flips to the ceiling or floor, the level starts out with some simple puzzles which you solve by walking off the right platforms. Upon reaching the autumn zone, you'll find a yellow orb where after clicking it, you'll enter the glow state. Once you flip again, you'll instantly buffer the yellow orb and stop glowing. This leads to some interesting puzzles where you have to chain multiple spider flips and orb clicks together in the right order. To further complicate the level, the forest zone introduces bushes that you can only walk on or flip through entirely. These bushes also disable your orb buffer if you land inside of them. The winter zone then adds blue orbs you also click and store, making for some mind-numbing puzzles. Mclloris has verified 1 by MadisonYuko, an autoscroller where you escape a collapsing factory. During his verification, Mclloris mostly struggled with the jetpack due to not only several black orbs he added, but also particle effects that sometimes covered up the gameplay. The UFO section was also rough, as all of the spikes, orbs, and portals constantly shifting made it hard to memorize. After around halfway through the level was a blue orb ball corridor that Mclloris could not find a consistent click pattern for. Instead, he opted to randomly click 3 times and hope for the best. Dron has become the first Deathless victor of Oxide, a former top 5 platformer, where he struggled with the diagonal strafes in this ball corridor due to these mini spikes. Right after that, he implemented a strategy where instead of clicking 2 green orbs back to back, he jumped in between 2 ceiling spikes before using a bunny hop to set up a buffer click on the second green orb. Some other notable completions this week include Voplat clearing both the top 1 Delightful Climb and the hardest jetpack level I Loved You, a level that Lutz also beat. Artemka has verified City of Tears by 23Jablin, a top 30 cubic stream that has 0 spikes. As always, thank you so much for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and shoutouts to all of our channel members.